Hi everyone, Corey here from Tales from a Polk County Girl, and in this book review video I'm going to be talking about Fic, Why Fanfiction is Taking Over the World by Jamison. I picked this book up after, mainly I saw a student check it out, and after she returned it because she was doing a research paper on fanfiction. I have read fanfiction for years, and I flipped through this book and it just seemed really interesting. It is a nonfiction research. I feel it is very well researched in looking at the history of fanfiction, how it has grown as media has changed, and some of the bigger scandals in fanfiction. For those of you that aren't aware, fanfiction really started with Sherlock Holmes back when Doyle was writing the stories. So the Sherlock fandom is the fandom that started it all. And then, I mean, there's always been fanfiction of some sort, but it really didn't gain momentum or anything until Star Trek in the 60s. And this book goes through all of that. Then it gets into the mega fandoms and the 90s fandoms. Like, I didn't realize that after Star Trek started to die down, it was the 90s TV shows of the X-Files and Buffy the Vampire Slayer that, hey, fandom is back. Awesome. And then the mega fandoms of Harry Potter versus Twilight, and yeah, it's a very fascinating book. There honestly is an entire section. I'm looking at the table of contents to remind myself. There's an entire section dedicated to Harry Potter and Twilight. The Twilight section does go into the E.L. James 50 Shades of Grey drama. If you didn't know, 50 Shades of Grey originally started out as a Twilight fanfic. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was a very interesting book. It has taken me a while to get through it. I started reading this book in December and finished it yesterday. Today is March 11th. Yeah, 11th. So it took me almost three and a half months to read this book. And, you know, it's not that thick of a book, you know. I've read thicker. But I'm going to flip to the contents so you guys can really get an idea of, it's not just one chapter per thing. It's a bunch of little essays and interviews, and did you guys actually get a good look at that page? And some of the material in here is very dense, and some of it was just, I really don't want to read this part. But I mean, there were parts of this book that I did want to read, and looking back on it, I probably should have just jumped to those parts and read those versus reading the entire thing. But it was interesting. If you're interested in fan fiction and the history of and how it has influenced culture, I recommend Fic, Why Fan Fiction is Taking Over the World by Jamison. Check it out from your local library. Okay? Have a nice day.